Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. My name is Oliver, and today I'm going to be talking about all things aerospace engineering as requested by one of the viewers. I'll be discussing what the field is, what some of the top programs for aerospace engineering are, what kinds of classes you can expect to take in school, and what you can do once you actually get your aerospace engineering degree. So without further ado, let's begin the video. Aerospace engineering has really begun to make waves in the mainstream media again thanks to Elon Musk and the privatization of the space industry in the United States. The most recent event in the space industry was Elon Musk's company SpaceX sending 4 astronauts to the International Space Station on the Falcon 9 rocket on November 15th, 2020. This was only the second manned rocket that SpaceX has ever sent into space. Events like these are only going to become more common as humans try and explore outside the boundaries of our own planet and Elon Musk tries to return home to Mars. The aerospace engineering field has developed quite a lot over the past 70 years or so of its existence. In 1958, you likely would have heard it referred to as aeronautical engineering or astronautical engineering. But now it's most commonly referred to as aerospace engineering, with the name combining aircraft and spacecraft. You may also have heard it referred to as rocket science. One of the best definitions that I could find online for aerospace engineering is that it combines the design, development, testing, construction, and operations of vehicles in outer space. Some of the different things that aerospace engineers might work on are radar, fluid mechanics, astrodynamics, mathematics, electronics, control systems, testing, material, software, and flight testing. Check out this Wikipedia page in the description for more information. Lastly, it's also important to note a branch of engineering called avionics engineering, which is not exactly the same thing as aerospace engineering, where avionics engineering focuses more on the electrical components of aerospace engineering. However, nowadays there are more and more electronics being integrated into every type of aerospace engineering, so you'll be seeing a lot of these electronics courses that you would normally get in avionics shifting into aerospace engineering itself. Now, if you're thinking about going into aerospace engineering, what are the admission requirements and what are some of the top universities for aerospace engineering? I'm only going to be covering the United States here because they have one of the largest aerospace industries in the world and they have the most university options. In no particular order, some of the top schools for aerospace engineering in the United States are MIT, Caltech, Georgia Tech, University of Michigan, Purdue University, and Stanford. These rankings are similar for both undergraduate and graduate programs, and there are about 100 accredited universities in the United States with aerospace engineering programs. So you definitely have a lot to choose from and a lot to think about. Additionally, there are about 20 universities in the UK and 13 universities in Canada which offer aerospace engineering programs. Although the universities in these countries may have a different type of accreditation than the ones you would see in the United States. So let's talk about admissions. Let's take MIT as our admissions example. They're a very competitive school and they only admit 7% of their applicants, so you're really going to have to work your butt off to get into MIT. The average SAT scores for the middle half of the most recent undergraduate class at MIT was between 790 and 800 in math, and 730 and 780 in English. This basically means that you have to be perfect in math and almost perfect in English to even have a shot at getting into MIT. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of standardized testing, but I'm just here to tell you the facts. Also, for those of you who may not know, the best scores that you can get on the SAT are 800 in math and 800 in English for a total of 1,600 points. Along with getting a crazy high SAT score, you'll also have to do supplemental applications such as essay questions and some small interviews. And just for some context here, most aerospace engineering programs in Canada require you to have between a 75 and 90% average in your last 2 years of high school, and there isn't an entrance test per se unless you are an international student. So by contrast, US admission processes are crazy difficult. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what kind of things you'll be learning and what you should be interested in if you want to go and take an aerospace engineering degree. Well, as you may have guessed, you'll be doing a lot of physics and a lot of very complicated mathematics. If you don't like either of these two things, then maybe reconsider going into aerospace engineering or any kind of engineering for that matter. So here's a small taste of the types of classes that you might take. Most universities will make sure that you have some core knowledge in material and structure, fluid dynamics and aerodynamics, thermodynamics, physics and dynamics, electronic signals and systems, circuits, propulsion, control systems, computer programming, probability, and statistics. Depending on which segments of aerospace engineering you're interested in, you may have the option in second year to focus more of your courses on areas that you have interest in. Additionally, electronics and information technology are starting to play an even bigger role in the aircraft and spacecraft of today, so you'll probably be taking a lot more courses relating to these things than you would have 10 or 20 years ago. You will also find that a lot of schools really stress getting an internship, and they might even help you find an internship at a space company that you're interested in. So what should you do after you decided on a school and you've got the aerospace engineering degree? Well, hopefully, while you were in school, you might have done an internship and now you might have a job lined up. But the way that things are trending now, you'll have a much better shot at landing a job out of school if you choose to do a master's degree. Let's say that you might already be in a different undergraduate program such as mechanical, electrical, or mechatronics engineering, but you want to go into aerospace engineering. Depending on the university, you'll most likely be able to take an aerospace engineering master's degree after your undergraduate degree. This would enable you to work in the space industry and help you stand out from other candidates who only have a bachelor's. And of course, if you're feeling really inclined and you really like the research part of what you're doing, or you've been in the field for a long time and you're ready to go back to school, well, you can do a PhD in aerospace engineering. There's no lack of programs, and this again could increase your odds of getting an even better job with a much higher pay. While we're on the topic of jobs, let's talk about some of the best and biggest companies in the aerospace engineering industry. First and foremost, we have Boeing. They're the largest aircraft company in the world, and they're currently working on their 777X aircraft, and they're working with NASA to send a mission to the ISS. And then of course, we have Boeing's biggest competition, which is Airbus. They were founded by the French, and now they're headquartered in the Netherlands. They've been slowly eating away at Boeing's market share for the past little while, and they've really started to show their success. Then, of course, we have NASA. They don't really develop their own spacecraft anymore, but they do a lot of research-related things, and they work with other big space companies like SpaceX or Blue Origin, and try to launch missions to the ISS and soon to the moon or even later Mars. And if you're that person who really wants to work on a rocket and be a rocket scientist, then look at companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic. If any of these companies interest you, be sure to do more research on what they've done in the past, where they are now, and what they plan to accomplish in the future, and see which one fits best with what you want to be a part of. These are all great choices for an aerospace engineer. Now, let's say that you have a degree in aerospace engineering, but it turns out that you don't like it very much. What other options are out there for you? Well, you can usually find work as a mechanical engineer depending on your past projects and interests. Additionally, if you show an employer that you have transferable skills, you can most definitely work in a field such as electronics or a heavy mathematics related field. In fact, a lot of aerospace engineers will end up working in Wall Street just because they have such a strong understanding of statistics and mathematics. Another option is to go and get an unrelated master's after doing an aerospace undergrad. A lot of schools will let you take any master's engineering program from any undergraduate engineering program, mainly because engineers are really good at picking up concepts quickly, and they learn pretty much the same things with a couple variations here and there. And last but definitely not least, I'm sure you're wondering, what are the salary expectations for an aerospace engineer? According to collegegrad.com, the average starting salary for an aerospace engineer is about $70,000, and if you have a master's program, you can expect this to be between $90,000 and $100,000. Of course, other factors will include your location and which company you're working for. Once you've gained about 5 to 10 years of experience, you can expect to be making over $200,000 per year. I personally think that aerospace engineering is such a cool field. If it's something that you're interested in and you've always wanted to work for a company like SpaceX or NASA, and you also love physics and math, then aerospace engineering is definitely a good choice. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Be sure to let me know in the comments which engineering topic you want to see me cover next. If you liked the video, be sure to leave me a like. It tells the algorithm to show it to more people, and I would really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more from me. I'll be leaving links in the description, so if you want to find out more about aerospace engineering, be sure to check those out. And lastly, if you think that there's something I missed, be sure to leave me a comment down below, or if you just want to say hi, I love to respond to your comments. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to always put your best foot forward. Whoosh.